Peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. I'm your host, Sky. We got your host, Jason, in the building. Damien and CJ are not here today, but they will be here. Welcome, New Year. It's been a good 3-4 weeks of just chilling.
Has it though? Actually, before we get into it, hey, everyone who comes by the page, do me us a favor. Quick like and subscribe. Helps out immensely in the algorithm. We really appreciate y'all. Now let's get back to it. I don't know, like having the first week or two was like cool because the revolving around my life that MMA has, fucking the cuckold on my life it has.
Pause.
Say what you want to say.
Just saying pause. I mean, cuckold.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of cucks out there in this world. Don't hate.
Yeah.
But the last couple weeks, man, like I've just been anxious. Obviously, I got bored, so I started growing out like this fucking man beard.
Yeah, I'm just now noticing that. I guess we haven't video chatted because I'm just like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, it's really.
It does look like
really
he's been in Alaska.
Been hanging out in Dagestan. About to ship my son out there.
Hey, Islam said 6 months. 6 months, brother.
Hey,
6 months. You must send your son, brother.
Too easy. 6 months. Listen.
DC said no.
Listen, this is the way I see it. To learn that Dagestan, mentality, obviously the wrestling, then you combine that with my superhuman athletic ability. Oh my god! This kid, the greatest ever. Just even if he can get like 1/10 of my athletic prowess.
Stop it.
What?
This
and then combine
he's an athlete. This is your first time watching the pod. Jason and I are actual sisters and brothers. I shouldn't put the S after, but anyways, yeah, we're actually related. Grew up in the same house. He is a menace. An absolute menace. Anything over the break that happened that you want to commentate about?
No, if I'm being honest, I've actually been quite surprised that the UFC as a whole has been like super quiet. I've been waiting for Uncle Dana to drop that groundbreaking announcement. All I hear now is rumblings. And obviously the biggest thing the kids on the underground is talking about is that potential fight between Poatan, Alex Pereira, going up against Khamzat Chimaev. Why are you rolling your eyes?
I don't know why you keep calling him Khamzat.
That's his name.
It's not his name.
Okay, so let's just talk about this for a quick second. If this fight actually comes to fruition, who do you got? You shot me.
You shot me. Because on one hand, I feel like as much as I love Khamzat Chimaev, I have to go with Alex, even though Khamzat is a wrestler. Like, this is a wrestler. Jason and I talked about this outside of the pod about how, like, let's be honest, Anklaev is not a wrestler. He can wrestle. And we've seen him do that against Jan. So he can go to that, but he's not by nature a wrestler. Khamzat Chimaev is a wrestler, right? So if he's going to continue to shoot. However, Khamzat does not have the cardio that he needs in order to continue to shoot, like some of the other Russian fighters or wrestlers, right? And we've seen Khamzat get hit by some bombs by Gilbert, and he ate it. But no one's eating clear fucking shots from Alex Poatan Pereira. It's just not happening. So for that reason, I have to go with Alex.
Wow. As much as you fucking dick ride Khamzat,
my
God. Pause.
I know.
I can't believe that you actually have some common sense. You are related to me. Congratulations, little sister.
Speaking
I'm
of
not
that,
God, I'm Jace.
Had to a guy on TikTok was like, when I had posted the thing about the fight of the year, the little promo for our last episode, and this guy's like, Jace better than Sky with the better than sign. And I was like, boo, with the thing down. The man's gotten his feelings. He got all squishy on the inside. And he
I have supporters. People love me. People love me.
I'm happy that you're loved.
Me too.
Don't know where it happens, but it happens.
listen, at the end of the day, you know, um, the millions and millions of followers, they love the Jace.
Who do you have in that
What's
fight, Alex or Khamzat?
Oh, Alex fucking squashes a cum shot. I mean,
What
at
if
the
he
end of the
doesn't?
day, I mean, like, what if I win the lottery? Like,
I'm
what
telling you
if I'm
guys.
sitting here right now and like a spaceship comes through and just turns me into space dust? I mean, there's always a what if,
I'm
but the
just saying.
reality, dude, the reality is Alex is way too big, pause, and he'll just get down on the get down. Like, he's way too big for cum shot.
Do you want to see that over Anklaev versus Alex?
Absolutely. Ask me if I care if Anklaev gets screwed over again. Come on.
Do you care about if Anklaev gets screwed over again?
No. Shout out to Friday. You want some Adebo too?
Nope.
No. Get knocked out by like your pop sheet too. No one gives a fuck about Ankalaev.
At
He could
all.
get cut, you know what I mean, from the UFC today, and I wouldn't bat an eyelash. She'd be like, oh, okay, on to the next. There's a
And
reason why. Yeah.
you know what's crazy? It's just like I don't see any Ankalaev supporters. I don't see anybody out in rage. Like I don't see anybody saying anything. Like when it comes to like the Kazakhstan people or wherever Shavkat's from, when I tell you at UFC 310 they were in the building,
In the
like
building.
there was more Kazakhstan people than I've ever like. You just could not imagine. Every single section had 2 to 3 flags and the little hats. Like it was nuts.
All these first humans everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you see that type of stuff, it's like they're not gonna let Shavkat get railroaded. And you see anybody at these Kazakhstan fighters or any of these Stan countries,
Kazakhstan.
yeah. Any of these fighters, like their fight when they are booked to fight somebody, the fans just go and bombard the person who they're fighting, their comments with just flags of the country. So like nobody's doing that to Ankalaev.
To be fair, I find it really interesting. As much as you fucking dick rode for Belal, no one cares Muhammad.
The champ.
Right? Like you were all just, oh my God, Belal deserves it. I don't care, Belal deserves it. Like, why don't you have that same energy about Ankalaev? Just driving the fucking school bus over there.
No. Picture 2 Heinekens in my hand. I don't want to do it.
Inside joke. That's the second one.
One day we'll tell that story. Until then, you said why don't I have that same? I don't know who Ankalaev is. I don't know who he is. I couldn't tell you one thing about him. I don't know why he's fighting. I don't know anything about him aside from the fact that he illegally kneed Johnny Walker, and that should have been a disqualification. That should be an L on his record. Prior to that, he did get the fight for the title. He got the opportunity. Him versus Blachowicz was a shit show. I was there live for that. Don't know what happened in that fight. Couldn't care less. Neither could Dana.
I just zoned out. I don't know. What happened? Why are you asking me how'd I score it? I have no idea.
Yeah, just zoned out. Just like halfway through the 3rd round. So I just don't know anything about him. I don't have anything to rally behind him. He's not even champion for himself. And if he is, I'm not hearing it. And I consume a lot of MMA media. So if I'm not really hearing it, then it is what it is. Like Belal became insufferable. Like he was everywhere.
To watch him is insufferable. To watch him fight is insufferable.
Champ.
It's horrific.
He's beating Shavkat.
Stop fucking playing with me.
He's beating Shavkat.
You don't believe that.
I told you that to your face.
You don't believe that.
I believe it. In the beginning, I was trolling when I was saying it. After watching him versus Ian Gary, I'm like,
see, and you know what, real fast? That is the fucking difference between me and you and me and CJ. I never troll. Y'all are just fucking trollers. I never troll. I always keep it a buck. I stand 10 toes down all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. That's why the people love me. They know how genuine I am.
There are things that Jay says on this podcast. I have to call him afterwards and say, are you being for real?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know I'm the realest nigga on this podcast by far and away.
You know it's serious when you got to call somebody and be like, are you being serious or I'm changing my Netflix password on you? Like, what?
Hey, don't change the password. I need the password. What you doing?
Speaking
I
of
need it.
Netflix, WWE had their first show through Netflix. Heard it was a success. I don't watch WWE or professional wrestling, so I don't know, but it seemed like it was pretty successful. Like Jason and I for a while have been talking about like it's looking like the UFC is going to do the same thing that WWE did. Maybe like have pay-per-views still go through ESPN. Now, do you think that it's better for viewership for the UFC to be on Netflix or to be on the premier leader of sports, ESPN?
I think if you're talking about a worldwide game, Netflix, because with the UFC in other countries, you have to go to different stuff. ESPN is only an American thing. There's no ESPN in Germany, none. England, and I know these because these are places that I lived at. Right, it's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no name brand recognition.
Yep.
Netflix is in fucking 3/4 of the country on Earth,
Yeah.
and that's just more household, more viewership. You know what I mean? Pretty much everyone has a Netflix.
Yeah.
Everyone does not have ESPN,
Mm.
ESPN Plus for sure. I know I don't.
You know, gotta change the password on them. Gotta change the password on them. Yeah, that's a good point. But I feel like the UFC gained so much. What's the word?
They got the rub.
Validation.
Mm,
They gained so much like validation by being under ESPN for the
okay,
last 7 years. Like they became more legitimate to the casual sports viewer, right? The
fair.
person like our older brother who doesn't really watch the sport, doesn't know anything about it. If they're sitting at a bar, they're out somewhere eating, and the fights are on, like they just so happen to see it, and people already like held the UFC synonymous with MMA. They're like, oh, are you watching UFC? Like they think MMA is UFC, right?
Fair.
Rather than the UFC being an organization. So I feel like it got a lot of casual viewers in on it. And I think they could potentially miss out on that. But like you said, worldwide, if majority of people have Netflix, I mean, we've seen the numbers that Jake Paul versus Tyson, Mike Tyson did. You know what I mean? Like
Crazy.
they start pulling in crazy like that, even close to it, even 10% of it. Like we're talking.
That is the thing that I didn't think about is yes, when you go to a bar, there's rarely ever the Netflix on the bar, but you always have ESPN just playing. So as well, maybe they do a thing where they go part ESPN, part the Netflix. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I definitely seen them going into that. I think Endeavor, the UFC parent company, wants to go there, so they will go there
yeah.
in some way, shape, or form. But it's kind of like the NFL, right? The NFL, you got ABC, you got NBC, you got CBS, you got Fox, you got Amazon, and you got Netflix all getting the NFL. And I can see the UFC trying to follow the mode and, unfortunately, this plutocracy, hey,
Oh,
y'all get attached to Google and Google what a plutocracy that we currently live in America, and you realize what the fuck I'm talking about.
right. Real quick, very quick. First of all, if this is your first time watching the pod, go ahead and subscribe.
Hi.
Also, we are not we're not analysts. This podcast is not for the person who wants to sit there and break tips down. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, we're here to have a good time, shoot the shit, talk shit about each other, talk shit about the fights. Sometimes talk shit about the fighters, but we're not really trying to get our ass beat. You know what I mean? But that's what this podcast is. Yes, we acknowledge that there's a card this weekend, but we're not hyped for it, and we're not about to sit
To
here.
summarize our podcast real fast, there's me and all my glory, and then there's everyone else.
Yeah, a
See,
moment
I
of
left
pause for him.
I left Sky speechless.
Yeah,
She's
a moment
baffled,
of pause for him.
stifled,
So we're
befuddled.
not gonna deep dive into this current card because we don't want to. Are we gonna watch? Yes. Are
Yes,
we gonna talk shit? Yes. Are we happy fights
yes,
are back on? Yes. But also we're
yes.
not gonna go through it. Do we hope it's a banger to start the year off? Absolutely. Absolutely.
2024 started off with bangers.
In what way?
They were just like a lot of these fight cards, fight nights in the
Oh,
beginning of
2024.
24.
Yeah,
The beginning of it, people were getting slept left
they
and
were.
right.
Um always gotta throw hate at Ihor Patoria because of what he did to Shogun Hua in Brazil at his retirement fight, celebrating after he knocked him out, never showing him any fucking love. Don't care who he is.
Root against
Uh,
them every time.
every time for the rest of the time he's on the roster, away from me.
Away from me, I
Um,
do not know you.
I do like Jose Johnson. Interesting to see what he looks like. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys check in the back, you see the Hawaiian flag. I'm probably the biggest Max Holloway fan on the internet. Period. I won't say on the planet because I know there's probably people that know him, but like on the internet, 100%. I always root for the Hawaiians, right? But I'm not gonna lie. When I looked at this fight card and I seen that Punalehi was on here, I was like, Punalehi's still in the UFC. I had to look at the record. Your boy's been like lose 2, win 1. Like he's barely making it, but he's making it.
Sounds like Brad Tavares.
Facts, facts. Like the Hawaiians have been down. It's a hard not life for us. I'm an honorary Hawaiian, by the way.
Can we just talk on it real quick that like Jay-Z is just overrated?
Yes.
Like people talk about him in such regard, and it's just like, wait a second, like name me 5 Jay-Z songs. You know what I mean?
Go or
like,
die. Like
you know what I mean? Like when people talk about, or even like Nas, right? And people are like, oh, Illmatic is the best. Nigga, name me 3 songs off Illmatic. 3 songs off of it.
Yeah.
Because you want to preach like it's on a high horse. And it'd be like,
and don't even name it. Spit me some bars from these songs. Give me some bars.
Listen, I'm the asshole. As y'all know, I'm all about fucking shout out to Diego Lopez. Emo never dies. When I see people in band t-shirts, I walk up to this girl and she had a Nirvana shirt on. I was like, hey, great shirt. You like Nirvana? Yeah. Can you name me 3 songs? And none of them can be Smells Like Teen Spirit.
That's something that CJ does on like his TikTok lives. Like people will come in and be like, GSP's the GOAT. He'll be like, name me 3 GSP fights.
GSP
Austin,
is the GOAT.
I am excited to see Austin Bashi. I seen him on Dana White's Contender Series. That was a good fight against C-Rod. Chris Curtis is back against the Russian Chase Hooper. I feel like the Russian Chase Hooper has kind of lost his steam a little bit, right?
100% lost his luster, but I'll still be rooting for him because I don't fuck with Chris Curtis at all. Y'all know that.
Really?
You follow the pod. Sky, you ask me this every time. You're like, well, no, he's friends with Sean Strickland. I'm like, yes, he can suck it slow. I'm just not a fan of the nigga.
Pause. I actually like him more now that he's not friends with Sean Strickland.
Oh, they're not friends anymore now?
They haven't been friends for a long, like at least 6 months. Like because of some of the shit that like Sean was saying, like in his just like beliefs and views, he was like, man, I just can't.
What did Sean say that was wild?
That we could spend a whole hour just on that alone. Your boy Abdul Razak Al Hassan is back. I wonder if he's going to be talking about, who is he always going off on? Joaquin Buckley? He's always going off on somebody. Like, it's just ridiculous. Somebody he lost to. He's always like going on rants about, and he's always just saying like wild, crazy shit. Just.
I can't believe that Ponzinibbio's still fighting.
Yeah, your boy Ponzinibbio in the building. Anyways, let's just quickly do our top 3 picks. Obviously, Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas is headlining. It is what it is.
I'm going for the booty.
Let's just get our top 3 picks. Cesar Almeida versus Alhazan.
Let's go Almeida. More ways to win.
Sure. I'll go with that as well. Ponzinibbio versus Carlston Harris.
I don't know why. I always have a soft spot for Ponzinibbio. It was probably, was that 3 or 4 years ago when his coach
Alex Moreno
just set him on fire. His coach just set him on fire. It was the greatest coach speech I've ever seen in my life. I wanted to go fight after that shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Ponzinibbio. You?
Yep.
Ponzinibbio. And I'm gonna go Dern. I know she's an underdog here.
Oh my God. Wait a second. Are we starting off the year agreeing?
It could be a good year.
Oh man. You know what? Just because I'm going with Amanda.
What a hater.
I'm not starting off the year agreeing with your ass. That's wild.
Oh
ew. Cooties.
Kitties, ew.
Cooties.
So we'll see. I am keeping track this year. I'm keeping track this year because
I've been keeping track.
Your boy Jace loves to be like, I'm 97.9%, and he's not.
Yeah, I was last year, and the year before that, I was slightly higher. I was
Stop it,
98.3.
sir.
Do I
And
have
we
to remind you as
and
well
we
who
went Caesar
won?
Almeida, right?
Yeah. Do I have to remind you again as well who won the end of the year championship? Hold on, I'll wait for it.
Oh God.
Let me tell you, it was the great one. It was the chosen one. It was the Jace.
Anyways,
It's hard being on top. The crown is heavy.
yeah. Say that to Jalton Almeida as he rode Cowgirl on fucking Derek. I don't know why I went blatant Derek Lewis for 24 minutes. Fucking
Did you
ridiculous.
just have a fucking I can't think of his name right now. Um, the senator from Kentucky.
Ah, oh dang! Why can't I
Mitch
remember his name?
McConnell. You had
Mitch
a
McConnell.
Mitch McConnell moment.
Fuck Mitch.
Hey, till I die.
Oh, for real.
Fucking
Um,
evil.
let's run through a hot take real quick. Forewarn, this is going to be a short podcast today. We have had to really switch our schedules around to make it here, but we want to make sure that we got an episode out when we said we were, as we have been doing
Yes.
for 109 episodes.
Wow. Hey, let's take a second to congratulate ourselves.
Breathe it in. Pat on the back.
I'd like to take this time to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. The double champ does what the double champ wants to do. Shout
Double
out to
champ does
Conor.
whatever champ wants.
Listen, real fast. Does Conor come back?
In 2025, this year, I don't think he fights this year. Only reason why, because if he really is gonna fight, Logan Paul, like he's supposed to be making 150 M's. Did you see that?
I did. Here's my thing, and tell me what you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as we know, Uncle Dana was like, "Yo, Connor's fighting at the end of 2025."
Mm-hmm.
In my esteemed opinion, and we know I'm right 97.3% of the time, if Conor McGregor comes back and let's say the Madison Square Garden card in November,
Mm-hmm.
100,000% he got popped on a drug charge. 100,000%. It'd be because he got popped on a drug charge, without a doubt.
Why?
Because then he'd have to serve his suspension.
But he is, I think, top 2 or 3 most tested athlete.
I'm
Um,
just saying. I'm just my opinion, and we know I'm right.
so
If he,
we're just gonna forgo him being found liable for sexual assault,
I mean, I'm gonna.
and that not being the reason why he's not fighting.
I don't think that that's the reason.
You think Dana just wants to put him in a fight in the next 2 months?
Dana wants. I mean, if Dana had his choice, he'd be fighting tomorrow.
I don't think so. Dana does not seem like gun ho to have Conor fight.
I
What
totally did disagree.
what has he done that would make you think that he wants Conor to fight?
There is not a bigger fight. You can do Jon Jones against Pereira, Jon Jones against Tom. Conor against X is the biggest fight the UFC can make.
But the UFC just had a record breaking year. They had the biggest gates all year, the top 4 since Conor and them.
What
What
do
I'm
we know
saying
about
is,
people who has money? They want to
right, they
make
want
more
more
money.
money. But they did make more money, and Conor hasn't fought. What I'm saying is, if you go back to when Conor was like all over the internet, like when am I getting a fight? When am I getting a fight? Like Dana was like, we don't know, it's not scheduled. To where Conor went and hunted Dana down to try and get a fight. They had a conversation about it. If Dana was so gun ho about getting a fight, he would have made a fight happen. He would have pulled it out of his ass. He's not gun ho about it.
Something had to happen, right? Because we had a bout agreement signed, we had a date. You know what I mean? We had a venue, we had an opponent, we had everything we were supposed to have. We were about to have a press conference. And then all of a sudden, just got a picture of somebody's toe. I don't know if it was Connor's toe. I don't know if it was mom's toe. It was just a toe. That's all that we got. You know what I mean? In my opinion, if Connor fights at the end of this year, it's because of a that he got busted for drugs. Everybody has an eye test, and you see Conor McGregor, and you go, "Oh, that nigga's on Jamba Juice."
You think now, even after being back in the system?
I mean, I don't know, right? Like with USADA, stuff was pretty out there, pretty forthcoming. I don't hear people talking about now like as much the whole
It's
testing
all
program.
you can still go onto the website just like what you saw that you can still go onto the website and type in the fighter's name, see how many times they've been tested. I think the most tested fighter, I just seen a post about it, so I gotta pull it up. Um, but it's all forthcoming. There have been people who have popped as well. It's just not big names to where people are gonna have a whole fit about it.
I'm telling you, I think Conor McGregor pissed. If he fights again, especially at the end of 2025, it's because he pissed dirty.
All
We
right,
all know for like Roadhouse, like Conor McGregor looks unrecognizable. He looks like a different human, right? It's
facts.
kind of like, shout out to old heads, the Ream, when the Ream had his horse meat, quote unquote, pause.
Mm-hmm.
I just went and ate some horse meat. He coming out looking like the Ream. The most impressive stare down ever, and not like his in intensity, but just physiques 100% was with Brock and Alistair just flexing on each other. It's like this makes no sense. This dude's 265 and 1% body fat. Like this
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make any sense. And Brock will look the same fucking way. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's run your hot take.
Yeah, wait, real fast. So you think that UFC can make a fight bigger than Conor versus X?
No, no, I don't think so. I just think that with everything surrounding Connor, the potential outrage that could take place, especially with his recent liability case, I feel like that could be a deterrent.
Dana White doesn't care.
Obviously, he supports well, gotta bleep that out. He supports Trump.
28-35.
Yeah, a big grape.
Twenty-eight
So
forty-five. Make sure you remind yourself that you talked about it for a second.
so I'm writing it down.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just crazy to me. I don't know. We'll see.
We will see.
Yeah.
Do you want to see Connor back?
100%. The sport is better. The sport's more fun. The sport's more vibrant. There's the people talking in the pubs about it. There's something more that the electricity when Conor is a part of the show, when Conor is on the main stage, right? Because obviously, just everything else aside, he has the best mic skills currently in the UFC. Probably the second best mic skills in the UFC of all time.
Two, second
Uncle
two.
Chael. Uncle Charles is the best. He just didn't have a country behind him. If Uncle Chael was coming up now as he was 10, 15 years ago, wow.
See, the difference is for me. I'm gonna put Connor first because what Connor says, I believe he believes. I believe it. Like it's him. When Chael does it, it's a show. He's entertaining the people. It's not who he actually is. It's he's being the American gangster. He's not being Chael Sonnen. Um, and Connor's being Connor. Like that fucking I'll apologize to absolutely nobody. It's Conor McGregor. Him. Where's Noah? Like that's him. Like these crazy shit that he says. Who the fuck is that? Like that was real. That was not planned. He wasn't like rehearsing this in the mirror. So I'm gonna give it to Connor.
I got to give to Uncle Chael. First of all, the bars, the memorable lines. You know what I mean? He really took that WWE aspect. Like when he challenged Anderson Silva for the rematch and was like, "Yo, either if I beat you, you know what I mean, you leave the division. If you beat me, I retire."
Mm-hmm.
Like we've never seen someone do that before. You know what I mean? In MMA, it's definitely a WWE plot line, but we've never seen that. You know, him saying Big Nog tried to feed a bus a carrot because he thought it was a horse. Like that's so good. That's so good. But even if you watch his like in his studio interviews, fantastic. You watch him get interviewed by Joe Rogan, fantastic.
But either way, it's all still. It's not him.
I don't know. I think Chael really believes that he's the American gangster.
You think that Chael really believes that when you tap, you lose the round and not the
Hundred-
fight?
Hey,
No, you don't. You know damn well he didn't believe that.
hey,
I love Chael. He's shit. Um,
he's a homer for sure.
for sure. Let's get into the hot take before we get out of here.
Yeah, well, it's not a hot take. This is just what I was thinking, and it kind of goes back to the Brennan Allen and Mario Vittori when they got into the scrap at the casino. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I was thinking to myself, like, we always think, oh, like an MMA guy would just fuck someone up in a street fight. And don't get me wrong, like it does happen, right? Shout out to the
The
first
guy that
MMA.
knocked out BJ Penn.
No, stop it, stop it, stop
If this
it.
is your first time watching the pod, because there was a guy like a couple months back who was upset that we were making jokes about BJ Penn. It's no disrespect to BJ Penn. It's all disrespect to Jace because that's one of his top 3 favorite fighters of all time. So I just have to jab at him because when it comes to Max Holloway, you will hear him say, "Oh, Elliot Taporia dominated," and all the rest of this stuff. So gotcha.
I never said that Ilya Taporia dominated Max Holloway.
Jace, are you being serious?
Yes, I've never said that.
It's literally in the clip. That's
I've
on
never
the
said that.
Instagram and TikTok.
I've said he beat the brakes off of Max Holloway.
You
He
said
stumped
he
a mud hole in
dominated
Max
him.
Holloway.
Oh my god! You
He
gotta
sent Max Holloway into retirement.
you gotta work on your memory because it's gonna come back to bite
I'm
you.
an elephant. What you mean?
Oh my gosh. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. Man, let me cook over here. You over here stopping the process. I'm over here trying to be Chef Bar Negro. You know what I mean?
He's flustered. BJ Penn took him out.
No, what I was gonna say is this is before your time. Shout out to the first UFC fighters to make it big, cover of Sports Illustrated, I believe. His name was Roger Huerta back in the day. CJ he'll comment on that for sure. But he slapped someone hard in a street fight. Anywho's. No, I was just thinking to myself, like I watched that fight, like there was no stands, there was no, you know what I mean, getting in these positions. Like they literally just fucking barroom fight. You watch that casino thing, that was a straight barroom fight.
Yeah.
Just punches thrown, haymakers thrown, sorry. I just think to myself, like, okay, like again, we always say like this guy, in a street fight, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Listen, street fights are different. Action boy Habib, Tony, that was one of the coldest shit ever. Like, if y'all go back and watch the Khabib and Tony press conference for the 8th time they were supposed to fight, and Tony was like, "Yo, man, like I'll beat the shit out of you in a street fight," and like up until that point, Khabib was so calm. It was just one word answers. He said that, and it literally was a switch. Street fight. He's like, you've never been in a street fight. You've
Right.
never been in a street fight. He's like, you're American. You don't know what a street fight
You're not
is.
Mexican. You're American.
Yeah. So I was thinking to myself, like, how good? Don't get me wrong. I think some UFC fighters, you know, some UFC fighters are made for a street fight. Tai Tuvasa is made for a street fight, right? But if I'm going in a street fight, I'm taking Tai Tuvasa over Jon Jones. What about you?
um, 2 men go inside a room. Jon Jones is coming out. According to Dana. I don't know about the Jon Jones example against Ty,
No.
but
Stop right there. You're in a bar fight.
yes.
You get one pick. Are you taking
Uh-huh.
Tai Tuivasa or Jon Jones?
Okay, here's where my trepidation comes from because I'm thinking to myself, Jon Jones is an actual psychopath, in my opinion. I think that he would actually want to kill somebody. I think that he would be willing to bust a bottle, stab a person in the head, stomach, something like. I think he's willing to go that far because he's
It's a street fight. Hey, shit happens in street fights
It
every
does.
day.
Facts. Bam Bam obviously is bigger, able to put his weight on a whole bunch of people, get the bar shaking. Um, but I'm gonna go with Jon Jones strictly just because I think that he's a psychopath. I
That's
do. I do.
crazy. That's crazy. Listen. That woo. Hot in her. Shout out to Nelly. Woo! Hot in her. That's a hot take.
Who do
I'm
you got?
1,000% taking Tai Tuvasa in a street fight. 100%. I think John be trying to do to being too calculated. I don't need in a street fight someone trying to hit someone with a fucking oblique kick. I need dudes trying to sleep people. This nigga Tai Tuvasa is trying to sleep people. He throwing 100% whop, 100% whop. There is no blocking that. You can do put him in a coffin.
Hey, you guys comment down below who you want in the street fight, Ty or Jon Jones. Yeah, but to your original question, can the average UFC fighter win in a street fight?
Can they? Yes. But will they be dominant? Will they just go 100-0? I don't think so.
I don't think so, and I think we can go back to Anthony Smith, the crackhead that broke into the meth head that broke into his house.
Listen, no, so I call cap. I got to clap back on that. Listen, I don't care who you are. Okay, fighting a meth head is never a good look. Niggas don't feel pain. You know what I mean?
No.
Just don't do it.
And the kid wrestled in high school. I mean, granted, he was no longer in high school. It had been some years, but he still at least knew what to do. But he gave your boy 155. I think the dude was only like 165. Gave your boy Anthony Smith a run for his money. He was like, wait a minute. I might have to
He was on the Jamba Juice. He was on the Jamba Juice. He was feeling superhuman. Listen, I've watched enough episodes of Cops. My second favorite episode of Cops of all time, and I don't know. There's this butt naked black dude high on PCP. Listen, your boy was like 6'2", 260. Butt naked, and gave like 15 cops all they wanted. They tased this motherfucker 3 or 4 times. He was just, don't make me angry. It's fucking hulking up there. It was crazy. Like, oh, you're going to have to shoot this nigga in the kneecap. It's the only way.
Listen, you see somebody on hardcore drugs, shoot him. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Shoot him. Just get him out of there. You cannot mess with somebody on drugs. Literally, I remember one time I stopped at a gas station and there was this crackhead and she was talking. And she's like all kind of bees and all kind of crazy words. And I didn't turn around because I know that she wasn't talking to me. I don't know this person. So when I go to after I get done paying, because this is back in the day when you had to actually go to the thing and pay for gas. Now cards are more accessible. Anyways, I go to walk around and I realize, oh my God, this crackhead is talking to me because I'm the only person fucking here. I walk by her and I'm like, oh crap. So I start pumping the gas or whatever. And she's still over there. And I'm like, what is going on? Get inside my car real fast, right?
Wait. We have this internal conversation of how bad do I really need? Now I know I paid for 20.
I'm a teenager.
I'll probably be all right with 10. Oh,
I'm a teenager.
Sorry. I know I paid $8, but I'll probably be all right. I'll probably be all right with 5.
Forget it. I'm 15, 16 at the time. I'm terrified.
Damn, you had a car at 15, 16? Damn. I'm trying to be like you. Shit.
Hey, had to work. But so I go drive off, and so I'm driving through the thing. The girl runs up on my car and grabs my antenna. Yes, this is when cars still had the antennas on the back. If you know
Pause. Did you run the fade?
Absolutely not. Well, the crazy was so she. If you guys know how strong those antennas are, they're really hard to bend. I mean, they're meant to be for weather and stuff like that. The lady bent my antenna like this. My antenna was sitting like this. I was petrified. I never went back to that gas station.
You was afraid to run the fade.
Facts.
She vandalized your car.
Absolutely. Do not
vandalize your car.
Yep. And I took it.
Pause.
For real.
On a real quick note before we get out of here, can we talk about okay, and this is not MMA related, but since we're on the subject, ain't it about a bitch? I don't know how else to describe it, right? So for me to go to my local 7-Eleven, Circle K, right? For me to park my car and to take the 8 steps it gets to the door, right? You could go to You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in those 8 steps. The 8 steps from you getting to your car to getting to that door. Anything can happen, dude. Anything. You know what I mean? You could be shot. You could be ostracized. You know, someone can hold the door for you. Someone can take a shit. Like, it's crazy what can happen. Like, I dread every time taking those 8 steps. And that's the reason why, here, specifically in Phoenix, shout out to San Diego, that's where my heart is. Like, I will always go to a QT because they always have security guards there.
Well lit.
And I will pay that extra $1 of convenience than not to deal with whatever meth fentanyl head I'm going to get in front of the Circle K, in front of the 7-Eleven. That 8 steps or less, guy, is just fucking insane, dude.
Never know if they're gonna flip.
No, and then you gotta walk back.
Yeah, and you still gotta pump. Can't do it.
Oh, I'm never pumping there. No, I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about getting gas. No. That's that don't even enter the realm of possibility. I'm just talking about, I'm thirsty. I want a Gatorade real fast. You know what I mean? Let me get out of my door.
Can't do
go
it.
8 steps. And it's like, what's going to happen in 8 steps?
Brother, you're tripping. In Phoenix, they got drive-through stores, drive-through liquor stores. I'm hitting a drive-through for something to drink every time.
But the motherfucker's right there at the drive-through, and I got to act awkward. I hate having to act awkward.
Trying to hurry up and roll up your window.
Like, you 3 feet away from me, and I'm doing all this. Like, oh, shit, I forgot to lock my door. Without looking at you. Without looking at you. Damn. Listen, man, I tell people this. I'm from around the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm about that life. I stand on business. Right?
Something.
But, hey, shout out to Denzel. But at the end of the day, I ain't fighting no crackhead. Fuck that.
At all.
I'll run the fade with any nigga, but I ain't fighting a crackhead. A fiend where you walking down the street like Quasi? Nah. That's the only thing that will make me walk across the street. Or like
Facts.
Dip into a store. I dipped into a store the other day. What store did I end up walking into? It was like this dude did timepieces, like fixed like a watch.
Yeah.
I don't wear a watch. And I just walked in there because this motherfucker walked by. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get out of line of sight. They was just me and him on the street. Is this how white people feel? Like, that's all I can think about. I'm being serious. This is how white people feel. They're just going, oh my God. Oh, damn.
It's a big black man.
Yes. There's a Negro coming my way. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, we know that we just went on a tangent for the last however many minutes, but that's what we're here for, the Scap and Roll MMA podcast. We will be back next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Anyways, until then, we are out. Peace.
Peace. Y'all know, as long as we've been doing this pod, I've been adamant about like, he still got it. He don't got it. It's sad. Breaks my heart. I'd like to just take this opening stanza. I finally came to the conclusion that El Kukui is no more.
To hear too much of it?
Man, turn that shit off.
Or what? Get knocked out like your pops used to.
Jace, you know what? I'm calling cap on you saying that you have 100 jerseys.
I have more than 100 Manchester United jerseys. Shall we go and take a look right now? Grasp to see like how many there are there unfolded.
This past week, all the rumblings have been about the notorious one, Conor McGregor.
It's a wild boy. A lot of people thought that he owned proper tail.
Proper 12!
At the end of the day, though, no one is going to beat a grape charge. You eat grapes?
Out of here.
You're out! Simply, who's more dominant, Alex or Ilya?
Top of my head, I think I'm gonna go with Ilya Topuria.
Because he killed Max?
No, because
I love Max, but like when Ilya did that, when Ilya did this, and he's smaller than Max, and Max said no, he went like this. That don't fly with me. You can't be the BMF belt. You can't have the BMF.
You absolutely have to be the BMF belt. Could you imagine Max Holloway being dumb enough within the first 10 seconds to stand in the middle of the octagon with the man who not only knocked him out, later on knocked him out, But if he would have got knocked out in the first 30 seconds because he wanted to be cool and oblige to some, like, that don't make no sense to go with a power puncher who has all of his energy in the middle of the octagon in the first 10 seconds, stand and bang with him. Like, he's not an idiot.
Who wins? Double champ Conor or back-to-back victories over Volk and Max Ilya?
I'm going Ilya.
I'm gonna go Ilya.
Because he slept Max?
If this is your first time watching the pod, Jason's a hater. I think y'all already got that.
I got another hot take. I think Max and Charles fights, and I think Max takes Charles' title shot. That's what I think gonna happen.
Wild. Charles fucks Max up.
I think Max will cook Charles. I'm sorry. I think Max cooks him bad.
Listen, in the words of Brandon Schwab,
Oh my God!
hey, woo, hey, woo, I'm your older brother. Don't be rolling your eyes at me. Slap you in the back of your head. Shit. In the words of Brandon Schwab, career suicide.
For who?
For Max.
Are you being serious?
Do you think this will be a cool thing? Say Jon does win, and they both put their gloves down, Stipe and Jon.
Jon Jones. I fucking can't stand Jon Jones.
Yeah. Terrible human.
I mean,
Terrible human. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't like to defend Jon Jones. If y'all know anything about me, you know that I hate Jon Jones more than any other, not only like mixed martial artist, but professional athlete.
Whoa. You sure?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yes.
Professional
Yes.
athlete?
Yes. I can't stand Jon Jones.
God, you're gonna make me start thinking about all these douchebag athletes and be like, even more than this person, more than.
All you fucking delusional fight fans out there, you know who I'm talking to. In what world, in what galaxy do you think that A, Jon Jones is scared of Tom Aspinall? B, Tom Jones doesn't beat the brakes off of Tom Aspinall? Y'all know me, I'm the biggest Jon Jones hater on the podcast, have been for ages. On today's episode of Who's Done It Better, in one corner we have shout out to Jim Carrey. In one corner, we have the current welterweight champion of the world, Magomed Belal. What's his name again?
Belal Muhammad.
Can we talk about your boy Uncle Dana just going fucking crazy? Just shredding people, dude. Just literally taking fucking soul. Well, I guess the PFL's got an undefeated fighter coming their way. What in the fuck? Listen, I don't know if it's old age. I don't know if it's a new diet. Dana's just going thug life. What is the wildest thing that he's ever said?
Jon Jones, pound for pound best in the world.
Today, Joe Rogan released an episode with Rampage asked him, who do you think's the most well-rounded fighter right now? And he said Sean O'Malley. And my jaw hit the floor. I just
You say your draw's job?
stop it.
Okay.
Who's been y'all biggest disappointment?
BSD.
That's your stupid ass opinion. Next.
Why is it stupid?
Because you can't say someone sucks when they're trying to go for greatness. He's going
Did he
up
win?
top.
What?
Did he win?
Biggest disappointment so far this year, Pantoja still being the champion and Jamal Hill's attitude towards losing.
Do we think this is Dustin's retirement fight, win or lose?
Not if he wins.
Retirement? I don't know. I feel like bro still got a lot of fight in him. I don't want somebody like Dustin just to, like, I don't want to write somebody's retirement off and he still got fight. Somebody like Tony should probably retire because he don't look good at all.
Can we not bring up?
I still got it.
He still got it. That's what he
Hey, wait a second. I thought we don't talk about El Cucuy in the pod anymore.
No. Is Alex already a Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Y'all
go.
know I fuck with Poetan. I love everything about him, his aura, his energy, you know what I mean? Like real life Undertaker vibes is what you get from him. This motherfucker is all fucking business, you know. The celebration was unreal. And here's the thing, man. If he goes and he does this and he fights Tom and he beats Tom, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. In my book, the greatest mixed martial artist or combat sports person alive, no matter what happens after that, Who has the best MMA physique?
I feel like it's between Yoel Romero, your boy on the horse meat. What's his name? Alistair?
Alistair Overeem.
When he was on the horse meat, though.
The Ream.
You know, I feel like it's kind of in between there.
Bro, look like an action figure. It's crazy.
Yeah, and just for me to be a weirdo, also, like, Tyron Woodley got that thing. He got that butt on him.
Bro, come on now, bro.
Brother. Constantly getting debates here, and, I've seen online that people feeling like Sean O'Malley had the Dana White privilege, as well as Alex Pereira.
Do you think it's true?
100%. Both of them have been strategically match-made, strategically handled.
Called cap.
Cup and balls.
Whoa. Hey, I'm your brother.
There was this meme going around. It said 2025. Let me see if it's up again.
Oh, God.
If y'all can see this, and you might not be able to really see the faces that well. We have Umar as champ, Mozar as champ, Islam is champ, Belal is champ, Khamzat is champ, and Anklaev is champ for 2025. That's what they got. They got all the little, wrestlers up at the top. 2022?
We was living, 22, 23, 22. We was living good.
There was black and brown champs, it was a sight to see. And boy, Sean O'Malley, Sean Strickland. I mean, all of a sudden, the tides turned. Now it's looking like from the Caucasus Mountains, the Russians are coming down and taking over. Let's go.
Who's a worse human, Jon Jones or Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor.
Why?
In the list of egregious crimes, things that I just think are absolutely awful, a PDF file, and then a grate. And then everything else is up under that. Like, those in that order, too. It's just awful for me.
Yeah, I picked Jon Jones. Conor McGregor is a genuine piece of shit.